Hey, what's up everybody? I'm trying a new video format here. So my friend Christoph Rumpel sent me a message on Twitter saying that he just recorded this video and he wanted some feedback if I had some time. And he caught me in the right time because I am myself experimenting and practicing using Ecamm Live because I'm going to deliver workshops and I want to get comfortable with the gear and the tech to produce these workshops. So for example, you can see here I have a MIDI keyboard. I don't play music in the workshops, but I can switch scenes by pressing this key. And I'm just trying to get comfortable with having different types of scenes and change from one to another comfortably.
Accessibility shortcuts.
As you can see, I'm not quite there yet. I've watched Christoph's videos the first minute and I was like, okay, I've got 2 or 3 little pointers already. And I thought I'm gonna take some notes and do a boring bullet list trying to explain as well as I can. And then I thought, you know what, actually, let's try to do this sort of reaction video where I watch the video and I comment on it as we go. And I thought that'd be more interesting. Of course, I'll ask Christoph before releasing this video if he's cool with that. All I'm going to give is honest feedback and try to be constructive. I'm not here to roast people, but I think giving some tips is what he's asking, and I think I can provide that. So I'm going to press another key, which is going to switch to a browser where I have the video, and let's start watching, and I'll pause and do some comments. All right.
Hello, Laravel friends. Yesterday, Laravel 9.21.0 was released, so I think it's a good idea to take a look at what the team has cooked up for us this time. Let's go. Nuno Maduro, the Portuguese.
Right, since you have music in the intro, I would start with the music straight away. I think when you have music in the intro, it kind of gives this punchy start. I can hear a tiny bit of echo in your voice, which is not bad at all. But if you're going to have music, may as well start with the music because then the very first seconds are a bit more engaging. There was talk in silence and then the intro came like the Laravel What's New slide or title. And at this point, the music went up. And when it went down, it kind of skipped and did a little jump, which is, it's not a big deal. But because I think the first 15 seconds of video is where you kind of capture the audience and say, hey, this is the quality, you're in for a good ride. Try to really polish these as much as you can. So let's go, let me go back to that scene. Let's go back a couple of seconds and try to listen to
what
that
the team
glitch
has cooked up for us this time. Let's go. Nuno Maduro, the Portuguese king of...
So it's not a big deal at all, but there was that little jump. And I'm interested to see what the music does if it goes away straight away.
The console has been working on a fresh look for Artisan. He went all in and updated over 100 comments just for us. Yeah,
so the background music is quite low here and it's pretty cool. It kind of gives a good punch to the presentation. So I would have that from the start, especially if you're going to have it when you talk later, just have it from the start as well. And my recommendation here, sorry, we're like 10 seconds in and I'm already full of comments, but try, I can tell that you manually kind of did some keyframes and boosted the volume up and then back down. A really nice way to make that super smooth is to use something called ducking. You basically send your voice and then you listen from the audio track. This track is going to listen to the audio voice. Basically, every time your voice speaks, the audio will duck under by a level that you can set. And you can set how quickly it ducks, how quickly it comes back. And then you can make it really smooth and then save it as a preset and never think about it again. Radio stations do that all the time. When the DJ MC is speaking over the track, the track ducks down and it comes back really smoothly. So I've been talking for like 2 or 3 minutes and we watched 27 seconds. So let's keep going.
So I think it's a good idea to check some of them out and compare them to what they looked like before. We start with a fresh migration. On the left, you can see the old version, and on the right...
One more comment. I don't know if it was intentional, but he finished the intro and the music calmed down right as he finished speaking, and then the video screen share came and the beat started again, and that was really cool, really punchy. Nice. If you did it on purpose, that's great.
You can see the new one. You will see that the new comment looks much cleaner and more organized compared to the old version.
Sure does.
Details like the time are way easier to find and to read now. Also, the comments output is now much more streamlined. This means when we now check another comment like the migration status,
I got one more comment about the audio. Yes, I do like audio stuff. This particular song has that synth melody that's quite in a frequency that kind of clashes with your voice a bit. So even if the volume is down, you're still at risk of this melody clashing and interfering with your voice. The segments of that song where there's just the bass, it's pure. It's really good because the bass does not take any space from the audio spectrum from your voice. Whereas the melody with the synthesizer is kind of like challenging. Sometimes I feel like you should almost lower it even a bit more just because of the song choice. Another thing you can do is kind of apply some EQ to the song to remove a lot of the mid and high frequencies. So it's kind of more, it still has that background track vibe, but without as much clashing. I still can hear you pretty well, but I can imagine that it might be challenging in certain situations, like if you're outside and you watch on your phone without headphones, so you've got lots of external factors pitching in.
This will in general help to make the output more readable through all comments. Another example is the storage link comment, which also comes with a fresh look. Nuno also introduced these new status indicators like the info section here. These are now also used consistently, so here is another one that shows the error state when we try to create a new model that already exists in our application. Let's see if I'm ready for a Lambo too. Damn, doesn't seem that good, so maybe I'm not ready yet. But here is how I have created this output.
I got that joke. I'm not a Laravel developer, but I've followed the Lambo. One day you'll get it, Christoph.
But by leveraging the new components property, which you have access to in your comments. There are now different types like info, error, or you can even create a list with that. These new output states are also something that you can use yourself in your application and in your comments. Thanks a lot, Nuno. Next, Chess Archer also introduced an...
All right. This is a great use case. You saw 3 clips of Christoph in the exact same framing position zoom, but it was cut. There was like the thank you so much in the middle. And when you do 3 cuts like this, it's not glitchy, but it kind of feels like it could be much improved by doing a simple trick where the middle clip where you say thank you, you just zoom in a little bit. It's gonna make the transition much more fluid and punchy. And what you need to pay attention to when you do that is the eye. Try to, when you zoom, have the eyes stay on the same line rather than zooming and the head drops on and then back up. Let's watch it one more time so you're sure of what I'm talking about.
In your application and in your comments. Thanks a lot, Nuno. Next, Chess Archer also...
All right, so I think by just adding a bit of zoom, this is going to punch out way more. And it's like a 10-second change. And again, you can have a preset and you can reuse it across videos.
Introduced a new comment which is called Model Show, which gives you a detailed overview about one of your models. Just pick one model like the user model here and you will see information about the database, attributes, and also relationships. It's a great way to get a fast, high-level overview of one of your models. There is also a JSON option to get the output.
So I've talked a lot about audio. In terms of screen sharing, like this is really, really good. I've got absolutely no improvements I could suggest. The font is nice and big, readable. There's nothing distracting in the background. There's obviously some preparation in terms of where to place the windows. It's nicely centered. This is really good. So yeah, so far, I think you're doing a tremendous job. Like my little tips I give is mostly around audio and like little cuts, video cuts, which I think is where you want my help, I guess. But you've got the game of screen sharing really, really solid. Good job.
Put in a JSON format. This is something you can use to collect this information and use it somewhere else as well. Thanks, Jess. And no, we're not done yet with Artisan because also James Brooks created a brand new about comment to give you a general overview of your whole application. PHP Artisan about will trigger this comment, and here is now this nice overview of your application. We can see information about our current environment, cache.
These little callouts like this add a lot of delight. Like it's a simple thing, but it adds some production value. Like it drags the attention of the viewer to what they should look at. It's pretty easy to do. Well done. Good stuff.
And drivers. This means there is no more need to check your environment file for just one specific value, because mostly you will find it in the output of this new about comment. It's also nice because we can add some information to this list from our packages. Let's try this comment again, and you can see that I have added here some more details. And this can be done through a new comment that lets you
an underrated aspect of making videos is add some humor. You can see there's the Lambo joke again. It could be like the drivers section is not going to delight anyone. It's just like a real life example, but then adding a bit of humor, like Christoph is definitely not getting a Lambo. It's like uppercase, no. I think that just makes me smile, and it engages, I guess, the audience a little bit more. So that's great. Good on you for that.
Details. And this can be done through a new comment that lets you add more info to the about output. This is then something that you could use in your packages. I can already see how this is super useful for a lot of packages, and I will use it in my packages for sure as well. Thank you, James. Since you're still here, I guess you might like this video, so maybe give it a like down here, or even subscribe to my channel. Just a random thought.
All right, this was perfectly executed. That's something I've never actually done myself, ask for people to subscribe. You're always wary of doing it a little bit like obnoxious or salesy. That was brilliant. Just a little Zoom or like FaceTime interface, the little call. That's really cool. I like that effect. I almost think you could not start the video by asking people to subscribe, but start the video with this effect. Like when you say, let's talk what's new in Laravel 9.1, I think it's 9.1? 9.21, sorry. That's how much I know about it. This is really cool. It's like really high production. It's fun, it's engaging, and this is some sort of effect that could come right at the start if you just want to really like capture people's attention. I think that was a brilliant way of asking for people to subscribe. And look, I'm subscribed. But that's the moment where people watch the video and say, oh, you know what? Heck, just click that. Let's keep going.
Thank you. I would appreciate it.
Sure.
Last month, Laravel switched Webpack with Vite for bundling your front-end assets. I gave it a look quite away, and I was super impressed how fast and easy it is to use.
Vite is fast.
I also wrote an article about switching your current project to a Vite project. So you will find the link in the description below. And with this new release from yesterday, Laravel is also using...
I just realized I've watched the whole video with my head bopping to the music, which, I mean, it's cool. It keeps me engaged.
The new version of Vite, which is version number 3. It comes with a lot of new features like performance improvements. I don't know how this even is possible because it was already super fast.
Right.
And there is also a brand new documentation site. And of course, there's much more to discover, which I'm just not able to tell you because I just don't understand it. So you better check it out for yourself. All right, that's it for Laravel 9.21.0. I'm pretty sure you're as excited as I'm about those brand new features. And the fact that we now get this awesomeness in minor releases is crazy, like Marcel already mentioned on Twitter.
That was really cool. I really like this. If I was to redo it, you kind of look down. So the things pops up on one side and you look down on the other side. I think maybe when you recorded, you were thinking, let's look at the thing that I'm going to make pop up. So I would put it on the side you look. Just as it goes, boop, that would be cool to have that thing right where you look.
Those brand new features. And the fact that we...
See that? You're like looking down, and if you could kind of like align it with what your eyes are tracking, that's probably work even a bit better.
Now get this awesomeness in minor releases is crazy, like Marcel already mentioned on Twitter.
In the video.
Thank you for watching. Have a lot of fun with this new release, and see you the next time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, Laravel.
Right. This last thing, again, I would almost, it's kind of random, but I would almost start the video with that. If the video started like this.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Maybe without the music as loud, I'd be like, "Ooh, what's going on here?" That's pretty interesting. Where I feel like maybe not you heard the whole video with the music, you'll see what I mean.
Hello, Laravel friends. Yesterday, Laravel 9.21.0 was released, so I think it's a good idea to take a look at what the team has.
You could have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 without any music. And then the music kicks in when you say hello and you start speaking, and then it's transitioned into the video. So that is my review. I hope it's useful and I hope it's not offensive. I'm really trying to give tips as they come to my head. I pay extreme attention to audio, so maybe my feedback was skewed towards audio. To summarize, easy improvements you can make in that regard with audio is set up automatic volume with the ducking under your voice, if you can figure that out. And then try to choose songs that don't compete into the mid to high frequencies that kind of align with your voice. And if you do, and it's fine, maybe apply some EQ where these frequencies are a bit lowered. You can even do some super advanced fancy stuff, which is like a dynamic EQ, where it's kind of like a ducking, where it listens to your voice, but instead of lowering the volume, it kind of lowers the frequencies that you want. So you could say, whenever I talk, the volume of the song kind of remains the same, but it removes the mid and high frequencies a bit to create room and space for my voice. Apart from that, man, the camera game, the lighting game, you present well, you're comfortable on camera, nice background, nice lighting. The screen sharing is super crisp. There's always just one window with very clear, big font. That's awesome. Nothing to say about this. All right. I hope it was useful. I hope everyone enjoyed this sort of video. I'd like to do more of that. And I was able to practice my skills switching scenes with a keyboard, which is pretty fun thing to do. All right. Catch you soon. See you. Thank you.